Welcome to Rising Tides Live. We are doing a recap of the 2025 National Restaurant Show. What were the lessons? What were the stories? What were the takeaways? My name's Sean Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ Media production. We are so grateful. Number one, we are grateful for you, this community that shows up on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on all the platforms, omni-channel storytelling. This community showed up in an amazing way every single day at the National Restaurant Show. If you guys were there, we want to hear your stories. We're going to try to get as many people up on stage. StreamYard allows us to get 10 people up on stage. So please give us patience, come up on stage, tell us your number one takeaway from the show if you were there. If you weren't at the show, we have a lot of storytellers that we're posting on a lot of platforms. Let us know something that was interesting, something that you're excited about, something maybe that you learned. But let's go ahead and let's get after it, Mike. So go ahead and start bringing some people up. Oh, Cam. We're going to start with our man, Cameron. Cameron is our YouTube producer at Cali BBQ. Cam, how long have you been working for Cali BBQ Media?
Since October.
Since October. So you've been doing virtual YouTube production. As many people know, we've gone all in on YouTube. If you're watching this, please go all in on YouTube. It's an incredible platform. It's a more difficult social media storytelling platform, but the rewards are immense, and we have some stories to share. Cam, give us high level. What were your takeaways, or share a story from the show?
My favorite story is if I bug you enough on the show floor, you'll let me do a whole video about my favorite booth. That was what I learned.
Yeah. Tell him the story.
I kept on passing Apex, which is this company that
Apex Solutions. So yeah, they for Howard, who's on the call, Cali BBQ, we have takeout barbecue, and in the front of our restaurant from the pandemic, because we do so many takeout orders, we have Cambros that are right at the host stand. Apex Solution is the sexy solution to our COVID hack. And Cam kept asking me. He asked me 3 times, and he knows it's like the genie in the bottle. If Cam talks about it 3 times, and I'm like, okay, Cam, it's obviously important to you. Let's go talk to them.
Yeah, the theme was tech innovation. We wanted like what's innovating, what's cool, what also like what technology is like kind of flashy and like good for the camera as well. So it's like we needed camera ready technology, stuff that I thought was quite an exciting, interesting idea. And we just kept walking past Apex. And I was like, we gotta do something. We gotta do something eventually. And like I think it was like just before the show started, we were like both like, trying to get our coffee in. I was like, okay, let's go do it now. Just with a smartphone, no camera crew, just me and Sean with the smartphone and a couple of mics. And we're like, yeah, we'll shoot this. But maybe that's the other lesson is like, like you said, always be ready to shoot, always be ready to make some content. Oh, Sean, you're muted, I think. That's just me.
As many of you know who have been on this storytelling journey with us, we believe that everyone's a media company, and all you need to do is take your phone out of your pocket. You don't need to ask for permission, but it's a great way to start the show, Cam, is that we had an incredible team, the Rising Tide crew, the Cali BBQ Media team, Aaron, Michon, Brandon, Tony, Kyle. We had 6 cameras. We had 8 people. It was crazy. We had 8 people at multiple times. We were at 3 different places at one time. But you don't need that. All you need is your iPhone. All you need is your smartphone, and you can get some really cool stories. Great way to start the show. Oh, we lost Matty Smokes. We're going to Matt Rolfe in the house.
What's up, my man?
What's up?
Grateful for another.
You made it back to Canada.
I made it back to Toronto, safe and sound. Travel back wasn't too bad yesterday, especially. I saw you in the rain. I saw the post, buddy. So
I did the rain. It was the Tom Brady rain. for those that know, I was posting. I did the most posting on Instagram stories because that's the easiest way for me to do smartphone storytelling. But yeah, the last day I wanted to do a sunrise gratitude walk, and it was pouring. But the Tom Brady clip motivated me to go get my shit together and go get wet. So yeah.
Yeah, I took a lot away. Sean, it was great to connect and have an opportunity off the show floor. Dean, I'm sorry we didn't cross paths, but it proved the size of the show. And Michael as well, somebody that I was really hoping to get a little bit more time with. And that kind of leads to my key takeaways. The show is like this own little ecosystem of all this opportunity, innovation, whether it's product or tech or equipment. But when I was talking to leaders, my goal is to go a little bit deeper is where do we find the space, time, and capacity to utilize the innovation to improve our operations, our team, our output. So the key thing for me leaving the show and the conversations I've had there and since is, what do we do next? And when we say yes to something, we say no to something else. So strategically finding the opportunity to take action. There's so much great stuff there on all levels. But I think the key for operators and myself, I've done some really deep reflecting this morning and last night is, clarity is power, for a cheesy saying. But how are you going to take this incredible accelerators and work them into your operation to change the result, which they're intended to do? And whether that's profit, time, quality. Really excited to see what comes of it, but you can almost get lost in the noise. Now that the noise is gone, how do we focus, act?
Tell us a story from the show.
Story for the show for me was, I would have talked about the Sizzle and Spin event. And for me, it wasn't the Sizzle and Spin event where we raised almost $22,000 for the development of future hospitality industry leaders with the LEAD organization. But that was what I heard from everybody is kind of the competitive noise went down and people just came into a room. They showed up, everybody was interacting. It was fun. Like Michael was there. It was just a really cool event of key leaders that kind of took the walls down and showed up for a cause. And that was a really cool experience. And then that carried forward to the floor and conversations. But when you put the right people in the right room, something I'll share, I think competitive walls in our industry are coming down because we need community in each other to make it through this next stage. That's a key takeaway from me is we're stronger together.
Can you give me a quick summary of how Jeff Alexander is leading this spin class? Because shout out to Jeff, the CEO of WowBow. He is an incredible leader. He won the Silver Plate Award, which is a really big deal in our industry, but somehow found the time to always give back. This is the second year that he's been, I guess, leading the class. Is that right?
Yeah. Can you imagine, 80 leaders coming into a room and trying to get them all to be quiet at the same time and jump on a bike?
He was made for that job.
He was the perfect person. But the one thing I'll share, there's a picture of Jeff and some of his close friends like Greg and the branded team. And it's this black and white picture that's an absolute capture of community and people who they're absolutely cheering for their friends. I think there's an opportunity, like I have for many people on this call, that really have each other's back. And the reason why Jeff has the authority in that room in the community winning his award is based on relationship. Really cool to see.
Amazing. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Please, you can watch it on YouTube. We're trying to get as many people to share stories. If you went to the show and you have a story, you have a takeaway, please join the green room. I think we can have 10 people in the green room. So we're going to try to get as many people up here on stage as possible. Mike will help me coordinate who's waiting on deck. Dean LeBay. Dean LeBay's got story time.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Fantastic show. I had a great time. Good to see a lot of things. Key takeaway, I think the message that Sean's been telling us for like the last, 3-4 years, everybody's got a story and you got to tell your story because nobody's coming to tell it. 3 years ago when the group sent me, there wasn't really any quote unquote podcasting. Now last year, Jay from Canada's restaurant guy, he had a booth, and Jonathan, he did a little bit of podcasting, but that was it. There wasn't much. Now this year, the damn thing, the booth was full the whole time, and they had 2 different booths. That's just in that one location. And then all around the show, over in the Lakeside Division, South Hall, North Hall, there were people doing actual shows on the floor. So what that tells me is this. It means that people need to tell their story, and they're looking for people to help tell those stories. And Rev, I can't remember, the guy that wears the shirts, Rev, I saw him. Well, hey,
Shout
don't
out
laugh
to Rev. Yes, he wears the fancy shirts.
Yeah. Anyway, I saw him and Brian Meredith and 2 ladies, one of them who Laura Wilbur told me I need to meet. I saw him give a presentation, and if you don't have his ebook, you need to get it. It's free. He doesn't charge for it. But he told a story about how everybody has to have somebody in their location, or they need to have somebody in their location that knows a little bit about iPhone storytelling or wants to learn. And if they don't have any experience, encourage the people that to follow the Rising Tide community, because that's basically how I got here. this guy that bakes barbecue decided he's going to be a media company. Said, you know, you got to start iPhone storytelling. I mean, that's what he says on his shirt. I mean, he goes out and talks about it every day, and it's so true. You know, nobody's coming to tell your story. They're just not. I wish they were, but they're not. And the thing is, the more you tell it, the better you get at it. Because, man, I don't even know who I am. I'm not the same person I was when I started. So listen, thank you as always, Sean. It was a fantastic show. It's good to see Bruce. Bruce is a good guy. Michael Ungaro, I love what he's doing with this podcast. And Ian's was just off the charts. It was a fantastic show. And of course, Cam, you know, it's nice to meet you. Fantastic. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks.
Appreciate you, Dean. Dean, you were a rock star. You were all over the place. I went to Hoshizaki, the ice company, afterwards on the final day. I actually think Tuesday's a really cool day now that we went. It's the first year we ever stayed on Tuesday. But there's just much more opportunity to get a lot of stuff done that you can't do when there's tens of thousands of people and all kinds of chaos. But yeah, just a future note to anybody that's going to the show. Don't discount Tuesday. I certainly won't. I'm going to be doing some deep work on Tuesday. And shout out to Hoshizaki. And Dean, thank you for having all the conversations that you did have. Bruce Nelson, tell us a story from the show. How you doing, my friend?
Sure. I'm doing great. And thank you for the show and for this. And Dean, man, you can be my wingman anytime. Every time I saw Dean, he was introducing me to somebody. So that was great, Matt. Sorry we didn't connect. I don't know how we missed each other. Big takeaway. You know what? Restaurant business is a people business. And we sometimes forget that when we're always looking at ourselves digitally. It was so great to see everybody in person. And the old friends I ran into the show and the time I spent with them at the booth and after the show in person just can't be duplicated online. And let's see, I think my key takeaway, Sean, you're right. I got more done on Tuesday morning because I had time when I went circled back to the people I really want to spend time with. And I got like 20, 30 minutes with each of these key people. So no, that was golden.
Amazing. How was the podcast that you did with Restaurant 365? Behind the Numbers. If you guys aren't subscribed to Behind the Numbers, Cali Barbecue Media, we proudly produce that show. It is phenomenal. Bruce, how'd you do on the show?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I look forward to it coming out. And what was really ironic is I got invited to a dinner, totally random, on Monday night, and Ken Baker was sitting right next to me, who was on the last Behind the Numbers. So I had never met him before, but we had just a ball talking at dinner. I also got a chance to do a old school print media interview with Restaurant Dive. And that was really kind of strange because I haven't done print media reviews since 2000 when I opened my last restaurant.
Awesome. That's really cool. Well, thank you, Bruce. We appreciate it. Thank you for being part of the community. Thank you for sharing the stories. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, on YouTube, go to betheshow.media/rising tides, and you can be a guest on the podcast right here, right now. Don't let the lessons and stories go to waste. Please share what you've learned with the community so we can all get better. Howard Solomon, congratulations to Sam. I know you had a very special event that you needed to be at, and as a dad, I would never have missed that for the world. Thank you for sharing the stories, because I felt like I got to be a part of the Solomon family just because of your smartphone storytelling. So thank you.
Yep, it was an amazing weekend. Sorry I couldn't be in Chicago, but while in DC, I have to send you and Aaron a picture. I saw a guy filming the graduation with a full camera harness that moved. I don't know if it was 360, but it was definitely the 180 degrees left to right, while on a self-balancing 2-wheel scooter.
Really?
And I could totally picture Aaron on this thing next
Maybe
year in
Brandon.
Chicago.
Brandon, maybe, but not Aaron.
Zipping through the showroom floor. So I was thinking about you guys when I was there, but obviously saw as much on the platforms as I possibly could. It looked amazing. Definitely will be there a year from now.
It's fantastic. Anything jump out from which platform were you paying most attention to? Instagram, LinkedIn?
Mostly on Instagram,
Yep.
because that's where I was posting as well
Yep.
from the graduation. So
Wait, hold on. For people that are listening, that own businesses, that participate in shows, I would like, what did you say? You were on Instagram, Howard Solomon?
yes,
I talked to, there's 2,000 vendors that are there that 90% of them don't think that business owners and business leaders are on Instagram or on TikTok. And it's like, it's crazy to me, but that's also the
It's-
opportunity.
it's crazy. I think there's a huge. I mean, there's different demographics and people that post, on the various platforms for different reasons.
Yep.
But I find that LinkedIn and Instagram are the two best for me, and I'm starting to dedicate some weekly time. Unfortunately, in the world of Matt Rolfe, I'm taking a little bit away from reading and a little bit more on YouTube.
Yeah.
As far as my time balance goes, because what's the phrase, Matt? There's for every something that you do different,
Yeah, that was
something
really
else
good.
goes away.
Say that again. For every
Can I say
yes,
something like that?
you said something like for every yes you say, for everything you say yes to, you say no to, what was it?
Every time you say yes to something, you say no to something else. Most
Yeah,
of
so
us
I-
are
Stover might
Yeah.
put that on the put that in the chat. That's really
Yeah.
good.
Of course, Matt's got like a bazillion great quotes, but that's the one from today. So I'm saying yes to YouTube and a little bit of no to reading, which has been a part of my lifestyle for I don't know 40 years now. So I'm changed with the times with everybody else.
Amazing. Thank you, Howard. We appreciate it. We can't wait to have you there in person, another part of the team next year. Elizabeth Doss, any takeaways from what you saw on the internet, on the World Wide Web from this community?
Yes. Well, one of my first takeaway is really quick for people posting about what happened on your trip. I wanted to tell you that Instagram is favoring carousels right now. And a great way for you to do things is just do a photo dump of your weekend. And every picture you can add a little bit of text to. So you can just journal a little bit about what's going on. It's just a quick and easy way for you to have that memory posted. And that's actually how people are finding people right now, is in that swipeable, easy to read kind of content. So I just wanted to throw that there. My other question is for you, Sean, because I
Yes.
did see the TikTok video, and I'm going to drop it in the chat on LinkedIn if anybody's curious about it. But your conversation with Justin Schwartz from Pepsi
Yes.
about local eats, I would love to hear more about that. And I see they already have a couple of cities, but are they going to do more cities? Can people apply to be a part of it, or how exactly does that process work? I would love for you just to dig into that for a second.
Well, thank you. Yeah, shout out to Pepsi. They were an incredible partner at the show. And I mean, part of what we believe in is that there's so many companies doing great things, but if we don't do storytelling on multiple platforms, a lot of people won't know that these things exist. And Pepsi is rolling out a program called Local Eats and Menu Pro for any of the Pepsi partners. This is technology where they're helping optimize your menu. So your local menu. We actually had Pepsi before the show come to Cali Barbecue and do a menu audit, a digital audit of Uber Eats, DoorDash, our Toast online ordering, to find out how can we make it better and how can we optimize sales. Now, if we're honored that we get the opportunity to share that story so that anybody that is a restaurant owner, no matter where you are, if you're a Pepsi partner, this is a free program. We work with technology companies that have SaaS costs, and it's always a little bit of something. Pepsi, if you're a Pepsi partner, this is free. You can reach out to your local Pepsi rep. But just doing the menu optimization of improving the photos on your menu. If you go to Cali Barbecue's online ordering menu now, you can see the sexiest photos of Pepsi products, like better than any photos that we take. And these are all backed by data. So understanding these are the best photos where it is a 2 liter of Pepsi that you're going to order with your tailgater. But, to be able to go to Pepsi, they always have an incredible booth to share that story so that hopefully other restaurants can use those tools to drive more NA Bev sales. Really, really cool. Thank you for asking about that.
Oh, that's incredible. So reaching out to their Pepsi rep is what the best way for that to happen.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Well,
Elizabeth.
I'm going to jump off to make room for people who are actually there. I'm so glad that you
Amazing.
guys got to mingle, and maybe next year.
Before you go, before you go, shout out to Elizabeth. Our Cali Barbecue Media gifts I used all weekend. If you were watching my Instagram stories, I was using Be the Show, not the commercial. I was using Cali Barbecue Media. I was using the restaurant influencers when I interviewed Von Miller, 2-time Super Bowl winning linebacker who was an MVP that is now doing Greener Pastures Chicken. Restaurant influencers using the gifts that Elizabeth made. So thank you for helping us do some branded storytelling. Great work. Matty Smokes, you're up next. Lessons, takeaways, stories. What do you got?
Hey, what's going on, guys? So first time to the show and super overwhelming. Second day, I took the bus in and I was like on the whole other side that I didn't even know existed and thought I was lost. But overall, it's just don't be shy, don't be timid. You never know who you're going to meet and who you're walking the floor with. You could be one person with one location or someone with 500-600 locations at any given moment. And so I really met a lot of good people. Took the time to listen and listen to a lot of respected and valuable people in this business. So I took a lot in this week where whether it be Chris Tripoli's seminar I went to about funding, spent a lot of time in the seminar rooms actually as well, and really just educated myself. So for me, it was taking notes. I got a lot of stuff to process, a lot of paper, a lot of notes, a lot of photos. And then lastly, don't wait. When you want to post like you always tell us. So it's getting your story out there and letting people know what you're doing now. Because if you're posting your story a couple days later, you're already irrelevant.
Share a memorable moment from the show, something that you'll remember.
Truthfully, I would say one of my more memorable moments was when I met a family, Isaac and Emma from Wisconsin. And, they run this company called Primal Meats, huge business. And their dad's known because he created the jalapeno popper and sold it off to McCain
Seriously?
forever ago. Yeah.
Stop it. He created the jalapeno popper. That's amazing.
Yeah. So he was in the frozen appetizer industry. And I actually spent the entire day and the evening with them on Saturday. But they knew a ton of people. I knew a ton of people. So, it was just, it was amazing because it started with a bingo card at the Young Industry and Professionals event where it said, find somebody in the same industry. And Isaac pointed at my barbecue shirt and he goes, oh, I need your signature. And, it turned into, I think, what's going to be a super long-term relationship working together. So, that was definitely a big takeaway.
Yeah, that's amazing. So great that we got to meet you. It's been awesome watching you participate in these calls, being a leader. Matt, that's why we do what we do. I mean, the magic that happens, as much as we believe in doing this, like when you go in real life and you meet the people, you give them a hug, you take a selfie, it all works together. I mean, we're all in the hospitality business, and like you said, we learn from each other, and you just never know who you're going to meet or when you're going to meet them, right? Ian, you're up. Lesson, story. So cool to meet you in real life.
It was awesome to meet everybody.
You were rocking the show floor.
I was making the rounds for sure.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. And honestly, like the biggest story for me is that I had no plans to go to the show before getting involved in this community. Our Chicago team, is there. It's their home. It's in their backyard, so they go all the time. But, just being part of this community and meeting everyone and having the urge to meet everybody in real life and it being accessible to us, like we made the effort to come out and experience it all. It was my first time there. So like Maddie said, it's definitely overwhelming and it's a lot, but it was fun to meet everybody, explore. Story, I guess my biggest story would be I decided to wear a pineapple onesie for a whole day.
Onesie, baby. That was fantastic.
Yeah. And it was fun because, believe it or not, recruiters aren't who people are dying to talk to a lot of the time at the show. So it was a great icebreaker, just walking up to people. I walked up to vendors. I had like at least 3 or 4 vendors have me take photos with their products, because they had they had a pineapple flavor something or whatever, and we're like, you're gonna be on our Instagram and all this stuff. And I was like, cool, whatever works. And so
Did you tell them
it
to
was-
collaborate with you on the Instagram?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
100%.
So I always followed them and stuff so I could keep in touch with them. And I'll that's my mission today, is like starting to dig out of everything and do the follow up and outreach and everything. But it was just a lot of fun. Events every night, just great networking. Everyone's having a good time. And in recruiting, we're basically networkers. Like, that's our job. At the end of the day, is just meeting people. So
Yeah.
it was just about making new connections the whole time.
That's awesome. Just a reminder, if you guys are watching, listening, you can join the show live right now. We'd love to hear your takeaways, your lessons. If you weren't there and you just watched online, something that stood out to you, how we can do better storytelling for next year, we're always open to feedback and ideas. Michael Ungaro, Kings of Fish, Fish Factor, San Pedro Fish Market. It's coming. I'm getting a list now. Podcaster, reality TV star, keynote speaker, cigar smoker.
Yeah, so much. I mean, oh my God, so much. I got, let's see, try to keep it quick and concise. I got the spin with Matt. That was awesome. I just now recovered. I don't know how many days it's been. Maddie and Ian, got to meet them. They gave me cool branded hats. So did Sean. I got to see Cam give Sean after dinner dessert called Two Spotted Dick. I wasn't expecting that. Never happened to me before. I don't know if I ever want to see it again. And then let's see, we had, I've been interviewed.
Whoa.
I've never interviewed complete strangers that are actually executives at publicly traded companies. So, like, thank you, Sean, for helping me to see that wasn't.
Who did you interview?
Oh my God, head of global partnerships at Google and the CMO of US Foods and Toast. So that was pretty cool. And then, I got
three. That's right. You got
Yeah.
three.
Yeah, and then
Three
interviewed by
executives.
Matt Wampler. That was fun.
Yeah.
That's probably the funnest. The other cool part about it was I ran into our shrimp supplier. That's our primary shrimp supplier. And I decided I wasn't going to do this because I didn't want to stay out late, but I ended up going out to dinner with him. And I felt it during the US Foods interview. Like, my body was ready for it. But the cool part about it is I'm sitting there at this dinner. He had a private dinner at RPM Seafood. I hadn't been there before. It was really good. And the people I'm sitting with, I'm trying to listen to these conversations. They're all customers of his. So two things happened. One, I was like, I know we've done a lot of shrimp with you, and I have a pretty good idea of how much, but tell me, like, just to verify. And he goes, you, at your height, prior to being in the parking lot, when sales have declined a bit, you were buying 33,000 pounds of shrimp from us every month. And I go, that's 200 tons. Okay, that's what I thought, but I never really verified. He goes, no, you are one of our large retail, 200 tons out of one location. Now this guy that's sitting next to me on the other side who works with him goes, you know what I'm really looking forward to? There's this guy at the show. I saw him here last year. He's kind of a big guy. He's got a hat on, black shirt. He's always got a camera. He's got this great barbecue place in San Diego. I'm wondering if he's here. Do you know who he is? And I go, he's the only reason I'm here. You're talking about Sean Walsh. He goes, yeah, I want to find that guy. And he goes, well, good luck. He's be running around all over the place. And then I think the coolest part after that was walking out, and I'm having a conversation with all these people I had dinner with. And the conversation came up about college and how expensive it is. And, we got all the information we need for free on our phones. I'm having a hard time understanding, like, how to work. And this guy comes up and he goes, yeah, no kidding. My daughter, $100,000 tuition. I'm so pissed, but whatever. And I go, man, you look really familiar. I can't place who you are. And he goes, I'm famous actor, comedian, James Belushi. I'm like, what? Oh shit, it is. It's Jim Belushi. And then he gave me a cigar, which is not the same exact one I'm smoking right now, but the same brand. And I go, dude, I can't take your cigar. That's putting you out. He goes, no, I got two. Take one. I was like, it's like the friendliest guy just hanging out in front of the restaurant waiting for his Uber or whoever was picking him up.
That
so
is amazing.
Really amazing, like, connections and meeting people. And I didn't plan most of it because I was sort of free, like going Freebird, because I knew, we had certain plans and I didn't want to get in the way. So, like, I have a much different way of, like, how I would be strategic next year around and who I would bring and what I would do. So really powerful stuff and amazing. Just amazing.
What was your biggest takeaway from the show?
I think, gosh, it's so hard to answer because I think you got to get out of your own head about who you are and what you're capable of doing and who you could be meeting. Because I've met such a small fraction of people, like putting names to faces and seeing people that I've seen in this community. I think a big part of preparing is being in something like this. And then taking the time to arrange times to meet. Like I'd done that in the past, but this particular time I kind of kept it open because I wasn't sure what to expect. So I'd be more strategic next time. I'd have more things planned. I was a little disappointed in myself that I didn't get to sign up for and attend some of the presentations, but I was really like set on not going for San Pedro Fish and really going more for King's Fish and Fish Factor. So, and I hadn't done that before, so I didn't really know how to organize, think, and be strategic with it. So now I have much better understanding. Really good stuff.
Tunji, why aren't you joining the show? What's up, my friend? Tunji Creates Online. It's get up here on stage. Come share your story. I got to interview Tunji at the Pop Menu booth with the Pop Menu founders. He was out there crushing it. Tunji, we appreciate you in the comments. Please join us on stage. Let's go ahead and do some takeaways from the show, what we're looking forward to. Friday's show, we're going to go talk specifically about restaurant technology. So if you saw something cool at the show that is focused on restaurant technology, please join us on Friday. That will be a specific show about what impressed you at the show, or just what impressed you in restaurant technology. You didn't have to be at the show to join the conversation. Cam, start us off. What's your takeaway from this year's show?
I got to come up with a second one then. I already said always be shooting, always be making content. That's something you say all the time as well.
Tell the story about omni-channel storytelling, because you were hanging out with me, and every time that somebody came up and said, "Oh, Sean, I love your show," what did I ask them, Cam?
Where did you find me? Or where did you see me? Yeah.
Which platform specifically?
Yes.
Yes. Which show? Which platform?
Which show? Which platform? 100%. Like, yeah, omni-channel. And you told me off because I told you I wasn't omni-channel posting on my own stuff, and then I got a bit of a lecture.
So deep in YouTube that you guys, you and Rosie's Gardening doesn't have, you're not focused on the other channel, which makes sense. But to the point of what Howard said and what we say all the time is, just because somebody pays attention to you on LinkedIn doesn't mean there's not someone on YouTube that doesn't want to hear what you have to say or how you can help them, or a lesson or a story.
Yes. I also want to say, like, the power of content and in-person networking together is incredible to see first person, especially going around something like a convention like that, like having both the touch points of social media and also the touch points of being willing to go to these events. It's like, it's something, you can't fail really if you have both of those working well. Is what I would say.
Can you share real quickly about walking with Bill Oakley? Bill Oakley, writer of The Simpsons, who's been a guest on this show. If you're not following that Bill Oakley on Instagram and all the channels, follow him. But brilliant. I had him on for the second time this year. We're making it an annual walk and talk with Bill Oakley at the National Restaurant Show. But we went to the 50 states. There were only 19 states there. But can you share a little bit about how it was for the vendors? And like, I mean, as people saw us moving through the booth, it was like, are they going to come to our booth? Are they going to give us media? Who's this for? It's for Entrepreneur Magazine. Who's that? That's Bill Oakley. He's a writer of The Simpsons.
Yeah, and Bill was so engaged and knowledgeable on the ones that he wanted to, the ones that he was going to, like his engagement with the vendors, his knowledge of the actual products was, I think he knew, it seemed like he knew more about the Aardvark one than the actual
they did.
Were trying to sell it at the show. It was crazy. So like, and just like, the way they the vendors light up when you get someone like that advocating for their products, obviously in front of them. And like, it's a little celebrity it's like full on, like when we went to the Rabbit place, there was like a crowd. There was a big crowd just like gathered around everything, like all the other vendors coming over. So that was insane. That was one of my favorite. That was my favorite bit of content we filmed. I think just it was also the last bit of content I was involved in, and it was like the last one of the day. Yeah. So the whole team was like, "We're tired, but we're here. We're gonna run around and do this," and it was a lot of fun. Even though
I think the outside of Bill being a phenomenal storyteller, the fact that he puts the work in, like he had tracked 17 miles before we did that interview. So like he had tried over 200 things, and it was like, he knew that like this was his opportunity. I'm like, Bill, you're hosting the show. You take me to the most important things that someone that can't come to this show needs to know about. And we can't, that's going to be a really cool episode to share.
And he got you to try spicy food on camera.
I tried spicy food on camera, and that's going to become a thing. Yeah, I got it. I see what's going on there. Naki, welcome on stage. Can you share a story from the show or a lesson?
Yeah, of course. It was great seeing you all. That's what the show was about for me. All these people that I've been talking for many years, on Zooms, on, online, to see them in person, and having the opportunity to have these conversations. We met as the Rising Tides community, and that was the highlight for me in the show.
Do you have a memorable story, something that happened at the show that you're going to remember?
I think all of it was memorable for me. Us, finding each other not finding each other, but meeting in front of the big sign.
Yeah.
And how loving and caring everybody in this community is. We saw each other. Many people here right now. I saw them, and it's as if we are basically long separated friends, and it was great. Being part of a community is wonderful.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Naki. Howard, what's your plan for 2026 for the show? Now that you've seen the community, participated in the community, you've seen what do you think you're gonna want to do most when you get out there to Chicago? Aren't you from Chicago?
I am. Well, yeah, Central Illinois, but I started
Central
my
Illinois.
restaurant career in Chicago. Yeah.
So, have you ever
Yeah.
been to the show?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Many times.
Do you know what I saw that the show is 104 years old? Is that a stat? I should know that as a media credentialed press member, but I'm embarrassed to say I saw that on LinkedIn.
I think my first show was somewhere around 1986, maybe 87
in Chicago.
In Chicago, let's see, it has to be 80. No, I'm sorry, 85 maybe. Because I was at the Hard Rock Cafe. I opened up the Hard Rock Cafe in Chicago. Got to go to the show for a short time because the restaurant was just stupidly busy. But my biggest takeaway was that the Budweiser booth, which I really don't like Budweiser, that's by the way, was right next to the Vienna hot dog booth. So, which was right next to the live music stage. So you could sit there and drink beer, eat hot dogs.
Sounds like a much different show.
So that
none of those things happened at this year's show.
Yeah, that was my biggest takeaway.
That's the evolution of the National Restaurant Association
from
show.
1985.
That sounds like that's amazing.
But I think I want to help out the media team by learning how to ride this two-wheel self-balance scooter. Maybe I can get a few camera lessons in there and shoot some stuff myself.
That would be fantastic. Amazing. Thank you, Howard. Laura Wilbur, share a story, something that I know you weren't able to make it.
Great job.
Your video was amazing.
I was following along. I really wanted to be there, and I think I shared with you all that it was our daughter's birthday. We did a beach party and bonfire, and it was really fun. But the thing I wanted to share was something that Richard Liverman, another member of our community, talks about, which is if you can't be at an event physically, how can you still show up? And Cam, you helped Richard show up with the stickers, the Don't Be Boring stickers. How did those go over, Cam? Did people like the stickers?
The Don't Be Boring stickers.
Okay.
Sorry, I got to unmute myself. Yeah, good. I gave out the placards as well, which I think a
Oh
load of
shoot,
people
I
have.
can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay, somehow my audio
We can't hear
isn't
you,
working.
Laura.
Can you guys hear me? No,
I can, yeah.
Shoot.
Oh, I can
Okay.
hear.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you, but we can't. You can't hear us. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
All right, I don't know what happened. Bye.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? No.
I don't know.
We can hear you.
We definitely can hear you. Oh, well, Laura's amazing. If you're not following Laura on LinkedIn, on TikTok, give her a follow. She did an awesome job shouting out so many people in this community before the show. A lot of tips, a lot of takeaways. Let's go ahead. Ian, what's your takeaway? Final thoughts.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway was just how collaborative everybody is at the event. It was really fun. I was just doing more of a recon mission than anything. I just wanted to get around, check it out, meet some people. Everyone at the booths, you know, like we didn't know if there was any overlap in what we could do, but we had some great conversations, and we're finding ways that we can hopefully help each other out in the future. So just collaborative environment, and just, you know, if you're open to things, then more things are possible, would be kind of my biggest takeaway.
There it is. Laura, you want to try it again? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, great success. We can hear you. Yeah.
Awesome. Leaving the room and coming back works sometimes, but
That's good.
as I was
like a good
saying,
restart.
yes, I was excited to be able to show up and support the show and our community, even though I couldn't, you know, physically be there. And I did a little video with my recommendations of what I would want to see if I were going to the show. And I created a schedule from, I think, Saturday through Tuesday morning of all of the people that I would want to see speak. And thank you for supporting that. And a couple of the people who I said that I wanted to see speak commented on my video and said thank you. And so that was just an example that was really fun. You know, even though I couldn't be there physically, I felt like I was still able to show up for the event in some way.
That was very much appreciated, Laura. And can you share what you're doing on TikTok?
What am I doing on TikTok?
Dominating. You're doing phenomenal storytelling. What are you talking about?
You're so fun.
Come on.
I'm practicing on TikTok, mostly personal stuff. So that's something kind of interesting. Is I've been on Instagram for many years. I started out with a 365 project in the early days of my time on Instagram, which was a goal of posting my favorite picture of the day every day, which got me just in the habit of posting there. So really my Instagram has been just about my family and travel and all of that. And so for TikTok, I'm doing a lot about my grandson, because my grandson was born about 3.5 months ago. And I'm doing a weekly update for him, or not weeks, months. I'm doing a weekly update for JJ, just telling him, you know, what new things he's learning and doing every week, so that we can kind of look back on that together. So,
and the videos are really good. They're really
Thank
good.
you,
They're really
Sean.
cool, and they're getting great engagement. And I mean, it's just a testament to storytelling on different platforms, trying different things, trying different shows, iterating, and just finding, you know, what works. And keep it up. It's phenomenal.
Thanks, everybody. Great job at the show. This has been fun hearing about everybody's, you know, making physical connections. Matt, it was really fun to see you and the team from Lead there at Sizzle and Spin. Michael, I think you dropped off, but it was really cool to know that you went. And so anyway, great job.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura. Matt, what's your takeaway?
So really quick, just the power of community. There's this great experience at the Lead Sizzle and Spin event where we broke the 20K mark. And Karen Stutz is she's kind of one of the people who brought Lead together. And she broke out in full tears as soon as they announced 20K. So if those people don't know Karen, she's very influential in her industry and an investor in several tech companies and boards. But to see that it wasn't about the money, it was about the people coming together and the impact that it was had, and kind of this vision that came to a reality in the moment. And it just stopped me in my tracks. So this is what it's about. And to see how excited everybody was. But that was just a crystallized moment for me. The other side too is I just continue to experience decent service at restaurants. And my real hope is there's such incredible technology. It's not going to replace humans. It's going to allow us space and time to invest in what matters most, which is our people first and then our guests. I had just some really positive interactions, but then reflections and conversations since the show already around we can't forget about the people. As one of the last human to human connection businesses, we can't forget about it. And we have tools to find us time to invest in what matters most. And that's the hill I'm willing to continue to yell from and die on if I have to.
Well, thank you, Matt, for being a part of this community, being a friend, doing the work that you do. It's been awesome just to see meeting in real life, obviously going up to Toronto to meet you in the first time, watching the event that you put on with all the leaders, hospitality leaders, restaurant owners. You are somebody that I admire, and I'm grateful that you keep putting in the work here in this community. So thank you. Bruce Nelson, take away.
Takeaway, I did all 4 days this year, and it's the first time I've ever done that. I used to just fly in, try to rip through it in one day. And I can say spending all 4 days there, I really got a chance to get some more deep conversations.
That's I'm so powerful. I couldn't agree more. On Tuesday, I was able to interview one of my mentors, David Meltzer. He participated in the show for the first time. I had him on our Restaurant Influencers podcast, which I can't wait to share. He interviewed me for his show, The Playbook. And we did it in front of a stage of no one. There was no one in the audience. And the reason why that was so special for me is that that's what connected me to Dave, is that you have to be willing to speak your truth, to share the things that you care, to have a digital flash mob, to be the crazy one that hears the music, that starts a barbecue media company, that starts trying to find other rising tide leaders. And if you do it and you do it long enough, we know, David knows, I know, this community knows that that stage will only continue to grow. There will continue to be people from all over the globe that come to the National Restaurant Show, that look for storytelling, that look for technology, that look for community. And it's going to be a really cool B-roll to look at, knowing that him and I got to do that interview in front of no one. But we will broadcast it, obviously, to Entrepreneur and to the audience and to all of you so that you can listen.
Sean.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of David Meltzer, did anyone catch his interview with the CEO of Chipotle?
No.
It was broadcast recently on the School of Hard Knocks on Instagram.
Yes.
And has anyone seen that? It's where a young man said, stops successful people in the street and says, "Tell me, how you made it." And it was David. It was clips. I'm almost positive it was David Meltzer.
Really?
Doing that interview. I will send it to you and you can verify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. That's awesome. Very cool. Thank you, Laura. Naki, what's your takeaway?
So connecting with people and meeting with them at the next year's NRA show. That's my takeaway. And I want to say, like, Laura set the bar very high for that 3 minute video. It was incredible, Laura. And you are walking, so I know, like, you're probably not in front of a teleprompter. Like, what kind of a memory? Like, just like those like London taxi drivers have that, like, they get the knowledge and all the individual streets of London in their brain. Like, you have, like, wherever in human brain that does the, cohesive talking, you have it, like, much bigger than mine. Let me put it that way.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for that.
Maddie Smokes, take us home.
So first of all, for me, takeaway, better shoe insoles for next year. I don't think I've walked so much in my life, but overall scheduling, Laura, your schedule helped out. Sean, yours helped me out as well. Just scheduling, making appointments, knowing where, certain times that I'm supposed to be certain places, and, can obviously hit up vendors on the in-between. Shooting more content. I missed a couple moments with certain people that I should have taken the pictures or the videos in those moments. So I almost just got to strap my phone to my hand and not let it go, and just continue to network and document everything. Documentation was key for me when I got home to really redigest everything that was going on while we were there.
Amazing. And yeah, I want to say thank you to Informa, to the National Restaurant Show. This was 4 years that we've been going, and this was by far the most access that we've ever had. We did drone shots from Lakeside for the opening video for our YouTube video. We did drone shots from the front of the front of the convention center. Brandon was absolutely amazing with the drone coverage, but we got to film the map. And I don't know if you guys have seen clips of this map that I found in the main floor of the office, but it gives you the best visual for the size and scope of this show. It is a massive, massive, massive show. And like, we did all these videos at the Toast booth, the Restaurant 365 booth, at the Pepsi booth, at the Avocados by Mexico, at the Ring booth. And then just to go to try to find where they are on the map and realize how tiny they are. And yet they're massive booths, and they're next to other massive booths in massive halls. So it's like, we can't wait to share that video. But thank you to everybody in this community for showing up. I mean, seriously, we say stay curious, get involved, ask for help. This community is inspiring to me, my team, Aaron, Michon, Brandon, Tony, Cam. It was so great to see you. We're really excited about where we're going to be next year. This community specifically, what we're going to have the opportunity to do. There's a lot of really cool conversations that we're having, but I think this is just the beginning, because as we all know, no matter where you are on earth, everyone's in the hospitality business, and Informa and the National Restaurant Show, they built the infrastructure to have the greatest restaurant show on earth, and it's happening every single year. And you know, this community will help others, new people, come to the show, give them tips, tricks, and advice. And every time you go, it's a new show. I mean, none of the shows have been the same. Every time it's a little bit better and a little bit more impactful. So thank you all. Thank you to the Cali Barbecue Media team that wasn't at the show, running all the shows that we do. We're grateful. Mike, Stover, Kyle, everybody, and the Cali Barbecue team. You guys are amazing. Thank you. We appreciate you. Friday, we're talking about restaurant technology. We'll see you 10 a.m. Thank you all.